come out and win game 2.
It was a 121-119 victory for Denver on Monday night. They've got Murray, Brown, Porter dealing with that left shoulder injury, Gordon the hero, and Jokic. Thunder with Gilgeous-Alexander, Dort, Williams, Holmgren, and Hartenstein. Thunder have not lost 2 in a row at home since December of 2023. But Denver looked very much like the team that won the championship just 2 years ago. Their execution level in the fourth quarter, and Grant, the stops they got against the best offense in the NBA.
Yeah, you said it best. The experience taking over, finding ways to win on the road in the playoffs. Denver got it done.
Scott Foster, James Williams, Ed Malloy, our officiating crew. We're underway in OKC. The Thunder control the tip. They're down 1-0 in the series. Holmgren missed the 2 key free throws down the stretch that left the door open for the Nuggets. Dort shot it well in game 1. Hartenstein hands it to him. 3 on the way. Rims out. Rebounded by Porter. Denver finished 44% from the field. They were 31% from three-point territory, but they out-rebounded the Thunder 63-43. Murray, it rims in to get the scoring started for the Nuggets.
And a similar start for Denver in game 1. Murray was very aggressive with 11 points early.
Keep it on the perimeter. Williams did not shoot it well in game 1. He finished 5 of 20. Holmgren got a bump from Porter, continues on the drive. Hartenstein gives it up. The corner pop. It goes.
And it's so important that OKC gets off to a good start. This starting unit shot just 39%, and they were 0 for 7 from 3 in the first 10 minutes of the game in game 1.
So Lou Dort first on the board for OKC. Off the miss there by Murray. Williams on a kick. Holmgren, open look. And it's rebounded by Jokic. He had 22 boards on Monday night to go along with 42 points and 6 assists. Murray, pull-up pop, off.
And you can see there's a concerted effort early from Denver to get Murray going. Unable to convert there, but you like his aggressiveness if you're Denver.
Holmgren, lob it up, slam it down, Hartenstein. Thunder led game 1 by as many as 14 points. They were up 11 with 4:31 to play in regulation. Step in, steal by Dort. Dort's going to try to do it himself. He missed it. Kept alive by Brown. Gilgeous-Alexander cleans it up on the inside with a flush.
And that's Oklahoma City Thunder basketball, forcing turnovers and getting out in transition and scoring off of them.
Inside, Porter had it knocked away, but a foul.
And right away here to start this game, Ian, you see the activity on the defensive end and the activity on the offensive end. Great pass on the interior. You had 4 guys get down in transition off of that steal. Dort couldn't finish, SGA there. So the swarming defense, the active hands, deflections, that's how OKC needs to play and how they need to manufacture points.
Gilgeous-Alexander picks up the foul. Another free throw here for Porter. Shoots it at 77% on the season. Porter was not a factor, didn't really play much in the fourth quarter, in fact. Was not making his jump shots, has a tough time lifting that left arm, so even rebounding is a challenge for him right now.
It is a challenge, but he hit those shots. They need to get something out of him. Too good, too important. Certainly health a factor, and right away, Jalen Williams, who hasn't played up to his regular season standards thus far in the playoffs. I like that he's aggressive early. Capable driver, so versatile defensively. He's got to be a factor here in this game, and right away attacking Gordon.
The strategy down the stretch, Mark Daigneault has said very publicly and then privately with us, hey, that's on me. Those were my decisions. The team executed what I wanted. They were fouling up 3, but they were fouling very quickly, so it allowed Denver to get multiple opportunities to stay in the game and then eventually get the game-winning bucket. But what actually troubled Daigneault more was the lack of stops in the fourth quarter. That vaunted OKC defense wasn't there when they needed it against this Denver squad.
And I like what he said in terms of there's pathways to improve from game one, and certainly Aaron Gordon with the corner three continuing to play at a high level, but certainly Daigneault felt like we can get better on some of those execution items in the defensive end in the fourth quarter.
Inside for Hartenstein. The setup by Williams, 11-7 OKC. The Thunder allowed 100.5 points per game in the first round of Memphis. They gave up 121 in game one against Denver. Porter misses on a three ball, and it's grabbed by Holmgren. Gilgeous-Alexander tries to shake off Brown. Hartenstein trying to give it up. The cut and the jam by Williams.
And Oklahoma City, one of the best cutting teams in the NBA, and it helps when you have bigs who can deliver like Hartenstein did there.
Energy has been there from the word go tonight for the Thunder. They're 5 of 8 from the field. Gordon, it's Brown. Pump fake and jumper is no good from three-point land. SGA, bounce it. Hartenstein, again and again and again. 15-7 Thunder, 6 points for Hartenstein. Denver opens up 2 of 6 from the field. Murray on a handoff for Gordon. He uses the Jokic screen. And Gordon draws the foul. Free throws for the 11-year veteran.
And you know, OKC is such a good team at helping on drives. And they really pack the paint in on dribble penetration. So Denver's had some openings and opportunities from three, but they're going to have to knock down those open threes to keep that defense honest.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by the Kia Telluride X-Line. Kia, official automotive partner of the NBA. Hartenstein sits. He's replaced by Jalen Williams. Aaron Gordon finished with 22 points, 14 rebounds, the game-winning jump shot on Monday night. And his relationship with the fan base, he has become Mr. Nugget in so many ways.
How about 2 game winners in the same postseason?
Holmgren cans it from the corner.
And that was a big shot. He needs to come back and bounce back from missing those free throws from the last game.
Fantastic start for the Thunder here in the first. OKC, let's take a look at our 3 for Me spotlight presented by Chili's.
Well, obviously the battle of the glass. Denver plus 20 in game one. The fourth quarter closing out games in the playoffs. What a run by Denver in game one. And then how will the game be officiated? Jokic so good at drawing fouls. Drew 12 in game one. Some themes to look at and monitor throughout this game.
Paint points right now, 10-0 in favor of the Thunder. Transition, certainly a big storyline here. OKC has actually been the best fast break team in the playoffs so far. Denver was #1 in the regular season.
Denver has success in game one, getting out in transition against OKC.
Jokic got a body bump from Williams. The floater doesn't go. Brown got his hands on it, ripped away by Holmgren, and scooped up for the Thunder. OKC has made its last 5 shots. Gilgeous-Alexander. Shake and bake. Flips it up. No, but a foul. Brown came over on the help.
And it's just so much fun to watch Gilgeous-Alexander play. Just a beautiful change of pace and a burst going against Jamal Murray, and then one of the best at drawing fouls as well, getting to the free throw line, not running from contact, but embracing it and drawing a foul.
Talked to David Adelman prior to the game, asked him what the current vibe is around the team. He said it's not a satisfied vibe by any stretch. Everybody's engaged, everybody's confident. Nobody is looking at it as, oh, we already got our one game, we're good. But they also recognize that OKC was going to bring a whole lot of fire here to game 2.
Well, this is an experienced team. They understand what this is about, the playoffs, having won a championship. And so he understands the pulse of this team, and they understand that they're going to get a response here from OKC, which they've done here early.
11-2 run for the Thunder. Jokic got a screen from Porter, fading off. Gordon mistimed the jump. Holmgren leading the break for the Thunder. Kick it, corner, Dort. Williams lets it fly, and it grazes the rim. Porter's got the rebound.
And Williams has not shot on catch-and-shoot threes with high efficiency in the postseason. Was a little off and short on that jumper.
They feed it to Jokic. Looking for his first field goal. Not there. Keeps it alive. We are past the halfway point of this first quarter. Jokic isolation against Williams. They show a couple other bodies, so he gives it up. Extra. What a feed. Porter misses on a three ball. Denver has missed 6 straight. Holmgren spins off on Murray. Stripped to the ball. Turnover. Ahead for Porter. Picked up by Williams. And now they settle in with 15 to shoot. Jokic turns on Williams. Scoop goes down for Nikola Jokic.
And they got a little cross-matched on defense. Jalen Williams, the small forward, Jalen Williams guarding Jokic. Jokic making him pay.
The bigger Jalen Williams hits on a three.
Well, that's what he does. A floor spacer, can stretch the defense, and has actually done a pretty good job fighting Jokic in the low block. He has the size and strength to battle him down low.
Listed at 6'9", 240. Murray missed it. Tracked down by Gilgeous-Alexander. Thunder shooting 62% from the field. SGA wants to clear the area. The fade is good. Timeout. Denver, it's 25-11. Thunder. The 2025 NBA playoffs are presented by Google.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City. First quarter action underway, and the Thunder are up big early over the Denver Nuggets. I'm Stephanie Reddy. You might remember in game 1, it started much like this, where the Thunder started off excellent on the offensive end, but then it came down to the end of the game, and it was just the last couple of possessions that decided it. Well, guys, I went and looked it up, and the Thunder have only been in 6 games decided by 3 points or less this entire season, including the playoffs, 2 and 4 in those. So you wonder how they practice. Well, they make sure they go over game scenarios in practice and in shoot-around. They watch a lot of film. They feel very prepared in these instances. We'll see what happens tonight.
All right, Stephanie, Murray will drive it, kick it, put a Brown three. Off the mark. Shots are not going down. They've been well contested. Holmgren with a head of steam. Layup goes and a foul.
And Ian right there, securing the rebound, flying down the floor. Holmgren, who with those long strides at 7-1, attacking, not settling. I like his aggressiveness here. And we talked about how does he bounce back after that disappointment, missing those 2 free throws in game 1. And he has been in attack mode early for the Thunder.
He only played in 32 games this season because of a fractured pelvis. And you think back to how his career started, didn't play his rookie year because of injury. So Holmgren has accomplished a lot in a short period of time, but it's still new experiences for him.
It is, but he's faced adversity, as you mentioned. And he faced adversity the other night. He's been able to bounce back, which is a good thing for the Thunder.
Denver is 3 of 13 from the field. Feed it inside and bounce off of Jokic, turnover. Look, Russell Westbrook is in. Gilgeous-Alexander gets it to go and puts some English on it. The Canadian. 30-11. Westbrook's jumper is good.
And Westbrook has been good in this playoffs and certainly played well in game 1. This lineup right now for Denver was so good in game 1, defensively and efficiently on the offensive end.
Lou Dort, bingo! Cason Wallace also in the game for OKC. It's now 33-13. And back and forth here between Williams and Westbrook. Officials get in between. Westbrook is gesticulating. And Scott Foster has made a call. They're trying to sort it out exactly who the technicals are going to be on. It indicated initially that it would be Westbrook. And Westbrook is trying to make the case that it should be a technical on OKC as well.
I didn't see the dust up between, I think, Jalen Williams and Westbrook, but Westbrook down 20 early, maybe trying to inject some life into his team. Certainly as a veteran understands his role, and obviously not the start they wanted.
So they got a personal foul on Jalen Williams, the technical foul on Russell Westbrook.
Williams right there pushing Joker out, and Westbrook getting in his face. Definitely the right call. But everything going OKC's way here early, exactly what Mark Daigneault wanted. Maybe right now Westbrook trying to light a fire under his team here before it gets really out of control.
And Westbrook basically telling Jalen Williams, you're not going to do that. You're not doing that against Jokic. Jokic driving kick. Brown's three, too strong.
And that's been a problem. 1 for 7 from 3 right now. They've been wide open because OKC helps on threes. They can't convert.
Lou Dort missed it from long range, and it's knocked out by Murray. So the Thunder will retain it. Got some changes with Isaiah Joe now in the game for Oklahoma City. Brown's going to get a breather. Porter back in, and Peyton Watson seeing some first quarter action for the Nuggets. Get it in for Joe. It's not going to challenge Jokic. 9 to shoot. High screen, Hartenstein. Gilgeous-Alexander. Off balance. Banker goes. That's difficult.
That was a tough horse shot right there. Wow, off balance.
He is 4 of 4 from the field. He's got 11 points. It's 36 to 13. No look to the corner. Westbrook got a three.
And finally Denver knocking down a three. And you see they've been wide open on their three-pointers. OKC packing the paint. Got to knock them down to try to chip away here.
Penetration. The dish inside. It nearly went down, but the Thunder are going to get free throws with Lou Dort heading to the strike.
And this force that we're seeing from this Thunder team is really how they played all regular season. They have a deep bench. They play a lot of guys. The defense, the forcing turnovers, and obviously just dribble penetration, which is a staple of how they play. You know, maybe that long layoff, you know, maybe that got them a little out of sorts. We've seen some teams struggle in the first game here in these playoffs thus far.
Shop NBAstore.com right now for the best selection of NBA playoff gear. Choose from jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and more. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience. Another free throw here for Dort. And with all of that said, the wind was there for the taking. If Holmgren makes his free throws, we have an entirely different storyline that we're talking about here tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't like they played bad. They just didn't execute at the end of the game like they would have liked.
Didn't finish. Didn't slam the door shut, as Mark Daigneault said to us. Turnover. Wallace ahead. Joe, poke away, but he put it to Hartenstein, and Dort is there. Watson got a piece, but that's how this first quarter has gone. Everything is coming up Thunder. The Thunder.
Want the latest on playoff matchups? Just tell Siri. Show me today's basketball scores.
Well, the scores around the NBA have been very close. Not this one so far. 40 to 16, OKC. The crowd was stone silent at the end of game one. They have been so loud here in game two. Westbrook driving in for two.
Yeah, they were stone silent. I think just stunned by what happened at the end of the game here, but one of the loudest places and some of the best fans in the NBA. And I'll tell you what, they are active and involved here in this one.
Gilgeous-Alexander trying to dish and went right through the legs of Jokic off the hands of Hartenstein. That's the first OKC turnover of the night. Murray flicks it over. Porter misses on a three. And Jokic and Dort, there was a lot of contact between the two of them. Dort ends up on his backside, and a foul is called.
And one of the principles defensively of OKC, they don't mind switching. Dort's down there on Jokic trying to front him, and he grabbed his arm or grabbed his body with his left arm. So certainly a foul there, but a lot of contact, a lot of punishment that Dort had to endure.
And Dort will get a hand from this crowd. He's replaced by Alex Caruso, who was a major factor in game one. Dort with 10 points here in the first.
And Caruso, if they had won that game one, he would have been the player of the game for OKC. He was so valuable in that one.
Foul called on Wallace. That is going to put OKC over the limit and send Murray to the free throw line.
Well, you got to honor the two-man game. Wallace was going to try to work over the potential dribble handoff. Great cut by Murray. All Wallace could do was foul him.
So Jamal Murray, Kentucky product. Cason Wallace, Kentucky product. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Kentucky product. And I did see John Calipari in the arena earlier tonight. So
there you go.
There he is. We mentioned someone, we show him on television. It's magic.
It is magic.
Miss on the second attempt. It's 40-19.
Yeah,
Calipari, of course, now the head coach at Arkansas.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, when you have players on either team, like, is he root for? Like, how does that go? I'm curious.
He roots for them all.
He roots for them all.
Anybody that's Team Calipari is good with him.
Well, there are a lot of Team Calipari out there in the NBA.
Isaiah Joe with a downtown hit. He went to Arkansas. So Cal's rooting for him.
He's rooting for him, too. Jalen Williams as well. Big Jalen Williams.
That's right. Back in. Jokic. Swing it. Westbrook. It's 43-19. Thunder. Westbrook bouncing. Jokic. Up and in.
Yeah, somehow that pocket pass was able to be delivered there, but everything a struggle right now for Denver on the offensive end. The defense has been extraordinary for OKC.
6 seconds left in the quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander makes his move, puts it up, nearly goes down. He is headed to the free throw line with 4.1.
And in that last play, look, 5 guys in the paint. Hartenstein battling there with Jokic. They're not going to leave him on an island one-on-one with Jokic, and certainly a nice screen and roll where he was able to score, but just shows you the defensive principles of OKC.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander had 33 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists on Monday night. Jalen Williams in, Joe to the bench. MVP chance. They denied SGA the ball down the stretch of game one, and ultimately OKC had to toss it into Holmgren, who missed the 2 free throws as time expires at the end of the first. The Thunder shoot 71% in the opening quarter. Just 1 turnover following the game 1 loss. Major bounce back so far from OKC. Second round coverage on TNT is presented by Wingstop. Not sure you can play much better than OKC just did in the opening quarter.
Brian, you talked about bouncing back from the disappointment of game 1, and OKC has done that. Their offense has been spectacular. Dribble penetration, shooting threes, collectively everybody getting involved, forcing turnovers. They're shooting 71% from the field, 55% from the three-point line, and that's huge because in the fourth quarter they shot just 35%. Everything clicking. Speaking of clicking, great alley-oop there to DeAndre Jordan.
So Jordan gets the scoring started in the second quarter. OKC is on track to score 180 points tonight. It's 45-23. Caruso is fouled by Jordan 20 seconds into the period. Congratulations, Sam Presti, the NBA Executive of the Year, Oklahoma City Thunder. Check out the limelight presented by Corona. NBA executives to have multiple 60-plus win teams. Red Auerbach, Jerry West, Pat Riley, and Sam Presti on that list.
Well, the gold standard in the NBA right now, what he's done. But David Copperfield, where's the picture of Sam Presti?
We can't produce magic if the man doesn't want to be on television.
Oh, so just magic when you want to do magic.
Pretty much.
Okay, I get it.
Let's check in with Stephanie.
Guys, you know, you're talking about Sam Presti winning Executive of the Year. Well, head coach Mark Daigneault said he is Executive of the Year, but he is not a year-to-year executive, meaning he should have won this award several times because of all of the things he's done to put them in the position they're in this year.
Yeah, just look at the consistency that this franchise has shown. Williams blocked by Gordon. It's going to count. Goaltending after the Gordon three. You want Presti? You got Presti.
I am sorry that I doubted you with your...
You doubted director Rich Russo. And then he delivered.
That's why he's the best.
49-26. Thunder in front. Just over a minute gone by in this second quarter. Westbrook body bump there with Wiggins. Westbrook upset as Holmgren is called for the foul, and Westbrook will head to the free throw line. There was a emotional reaction from Westbrook at the end of the play. Already picked up a technical foul.
And that's Westbrook's game. Attacking, aggressive, and went in there and drew the foul and maybe fouled Holmgren as well. But what he has done for Denver and how important he's been, particularly off the bench, he has fit in well. Great rebounder still. Energy has knocked down the three-point shot well. This lead right now is a tough one to get back in for Denver.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. That foul was called on Wiggins, the initial contact. Westbrook has lost 6 minutes. He's looking for his 9th point. 49-28, Thunder.
Really, right now, Denver is going to have to work on their defense here and attempt to get some stops. Everything going OKC's way.
Wallace pops it in from the outside. OKC had a plus 12.9 scoring margin this season. That set an NBA record. Gordon on a fade, he's got it. So that plays to Stephanie's point earlier that they didn't play in a whole lot of close games because they were blowing teams out. Williams takes it in, foul call.
Well, the way they've played here thus far, I understand why they have blown teams out. It's amazing to be so young as a ball club, but to have the maturity and almost a purity in terms of how they approach the game. They're unselfish. They play for one another. They're well coached. And certainly you see why they've made such a huge jump the last 2 years and have championship expectations this year.
They were 64-2 this season when going into the fourth quarter with a lead. And they had the lead going into the fourth quarter in game one, just could not finish the deal. 53-30. Williams adds another 10-15 mark of the second.
Because they haven't been in a lot of close games, they have to work on that in practice. We heard Lou Dort talk about it, watching film, and as Westbrook attacks the rim and gets charged for an offensive foul, Cason Wallace steps right in there. And I kind of thought Wallace was moving his feet a little bit. Westbrook thought the same.
So Westbrook initially wanted Denver to challenge it. Nuggets decide not to, and they get a touch foul on the outside on the drive by Williams. 9:59 to go in this first half, and Oklahoma City leads by 24. And Westbrook still steaming mad after the call on the other end and getting into it with a fan sitting in the 5th row.
And the fans, they cheered him before game one.
They did. Not tonight. Wallace connects on a three. It's lights out. OKC is cooking. Second round coverage on TNT is presented by Wingstop back here in Oklahoma City. The Thunder have missed a grand total of 6 shots. They're 19 of 25 from the field. They're 12 of 12 at the free throw line. And Nikola Jokic has been neutralized so far.
Yeah, there's been a point of emphasis, as there's always a point of emphasis against Jokic. They really have been physical with him, swarming him, but he has not been able to get involved. And I'll tell you, just the energy that this team has come out with and how locked in they are on both ends, it's fun to watch.
MVP finalist Jokic and Gilgeous-Alexander along with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Gordon stumbling going to the rim. He had it blocked underneath. Caruso twisting and turning for 2.
Looked like a track meet right there in transition. Caruso flying down the floor, but also had a great block there. Help side coming on the baseline on Gordon.
They're now shooting 77% from the field. Murray hits from the corner. Murray now with 6 points. It's 59-33 Thunder. 3 minutes gone by in the second. Wallace catch and shoot. Short. Rebound. OKC. Wiggins kept it alive. And then it's off his hands, out of bounds.
And that might have been the only mistake they've made on the offensive end.
Westbrook attacking. He lays it in.
Okay, consecutive points, 5-0 run here for Denver. Certainly getting stops. This zone right now giving OKC a different look. OKC cannot just stay on the perimeter.
Gordon with the block on Holmgren. 11 to shoot here for the Thunder.
And I know it's a quite the lead right now, but Denver, you want to at least chip away here, try to get it under 20, maybe go into halftime feeling good about something in this first half.
Swing it around the perimeter. Wiggins kicks it out. Caruso short. Rebound to Brown. Westbrook, is he feeling it? No.
You had Jokic posting up on the smaller Wiggins. They missed him.
Williams, hard drive. Brown gets a piece of it. Open look. Wiggins nails it from long range.
We've talked about it. Dribble penetration, getting paint touches, creating those three-point opportunities for OKC.
They are 8 of 14 from deep, 57%. Gordon fakes out Caruso, drives in, and blocked by Holmgren. Blocked again! 2 for the price of 1. Wallace goes coast to coast. He just kicked it to another gear. Cut by Brown, and he missed it on the inside. Williams a factor. Wiggins bounce, gets it back. Caruso, in and out. And a foul called on Wallace, reaching in on Jokic.
And right now, OKC, look at the defense. Holmgren just being long on the first attempt by Gordon and then blocking the shot. Look at Cason Wallace. Beat the entire Nuggets team down the floor. I played with a guy in Phoenix, Leandro Barbosa, who was so fast.
The Brazilian blur?
The Brazilian blur. Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
That reminded me of Leandro right there, but OKC is like, they're playing with almost a rage right now.
Yeah.
Like angry at what happened in that game 1.
I think they are.
They are.
11-0 in fast break points in favor of OKC. Jokic missed it, and Hartenstein with a box out. Jokic is now 2 of 7, 4 points. Williams hits the heel, and the Denver Nuggets allow it to bounce out of bounds. Biggest lead of the night, 29. Still have 6:38 to go in this first half. Murray fires, bullseye. Timeout, Mark Daigneault. More second quarter action in Game 2 when we come back on TNT.
And welcome back to Oklahoma City. Nikola Jokic, fresh off of 42 points in Game 1. It's been a struggle here in Game 2. The physicality of the Nuggets, they've swarmed him. They've made it life uncomfortable. They put a body on him, aggravated him, got deflections. He has not been able to get along. In that Game 1, he had 18 points in the fourth quarter, 24 points in the paint. So he was so dominant. But give credit to the Thunder defensively, really neutralizing the Joker here early.
Let's go more from Stephanie.
Guys, I spoke with Chet Holmgren about that very thing. He said the key is you don't let him do what he wants to do, what he's comfortable with. Take that stuff away, make him go to his next option, and then trust that over time it puts you in a good spot.
A miss there by Wiggins out of the timeout.
And I like how I'm sure he told Stephanie that he was very a matter of fact. Like no one else in the league can do that. As
Stepping and steal, Wiggins takes it to the upper room.
And that right there, they're trying to get the ball to Jokic. And Wiggins on the weak side, able to get that steal. Everything a struggle, nothing easy offensively for Denver.
66-38, Thunder. Jokic, one-on-one with Hartenstein. He will take and make the three.
And he hit a similar three like that on Hartenstein in the fourth quarter. Kind of squared up on him, jab step, hit a big-time one, and Jokic not able to get going inside, steps outside.
Lou Dort, slam down! Wiggins on the rack attack! Westbrook pops off the rim, cleared by Hartenstein. Jab, jumper, splash. The lead has ballooned to 30. Inside cut. Foul call.
Right now, Denver is in a zone. Hard to block out, but Wiggins goes up high, anticipating the miss. And his effort defensively, knocked down some threes on the offensive glass right now. I mean, the bench of OKC has scored 23 points. We still have 4 minutes and 46 seconds left in the first half.
Foul was called on Gilgeous-Alexander, who's 5 of 5 himself for 16 points. Jokic on the perimeter, turns on Hartenstein. It is just a thing of beauty to watch him take what would be considered a fall away, but it's not really for him.
Just a beautiful player, and right now everything on the perimeter for him.
Caruso swing. Lou Dort, no. Murray's got it. It's more of a lean away from Jokic. Asking for it, foul called. Jokic on Caruso.
And how about Alex Caruso? In transition, had to match up with Jokic, tried to fight him, got in front of him, got into his legs, frustrated him, and that little slip there leading to a foul. So everybody getting involved defensively on Jokic.
And a whistle stops play as they were banging on the inside. Gordon is looking for an explanation. He's going to pick up the foul, contact with Hartenstein. 4:01 to go in the second quarter. Denver shooting it at 43%, OKC 63%. Jokic keeps it high off the miss from Dort. Westbrook with a purpose. Missed it off the rim. Down goes Caruso on the play. Right now it's 4 on 5. Caruso late to get up, now on his feet. Gilgeous-Alexander, swing it. Wiggins, got a three.
And that's how you attack a zone. Dribble penetration, force two to guard you, create opportunities for your teammates.
10 points in 9 minutes off the bench. And turnover Denver. They are out of sorts.
Yeah, right there contesting Westbrook, a little bit of a hand to the face, knocked him down, but gathered himself, got back involved, and right now OKC has played 10 guys, and they've all contributed, they've all been a factor. And we talked before this series, Denver, they only go 8 deep with Westbrook playing most of the minutes off the bench. And OKC just wears you down.
Gilgeous-Alexander, short, tip in, Hartenstein gets the roll. They are out-rebounding the Nuggets 23-11 in this first half. Quite a different story from game one. That's not working either. Jokic tried to hit Westbrook. Upstairs, slam down! Jalen Williams climbs the imaginary ladder. They are all pumped up in OKC. Huge lead. Look at the upcoming NBA playoff schedule. TNT tomorrow night, the Warriors and Timberwolves. Golden State up 1-0 in the series. Game 2, we've got it for you. Steph Curry dealing with the injury. ESPN Friday night, Cavaliers and Pacers 2-0 Indiana. And then the Thunder and the Nuggets, Game 3. Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Peyton Watson in. That bounces off the hands of Porter. 8 to shoot. Jokic swing. Watson lines up the 3, and he's got it.
And Watson had a pretty good series there off the bench for the Clippers. Talented young player showing his range.
Gilgeous-Alexander fades and hits. Denver gets it up the floor in a hurry. We're down to 2:10 remaining in this first half. Westbrook, hard drive, blocked by Hartenstein, and Jokic is fouled.
Hartenstein right there, a late contest. He's guarding Jokic on the drive, but able to just be big without fouling. Obviously, Jokic comes in. They didn't help the helper. And Jokic was able to secure the rebound and get to the free throw line for the first time here tonight.
So Nikola Jokic has 9 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. But Denver shooting just 42% from the field. Enter for a chance to win NBA prizes at MichelobUltra.com/courtside. Courtesy of Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, 29 calories. Try it today. Missed the second attempt. 2 minutes to go. First half. Wiggins. Can't hit the 3. Hartenstein keeps it alive. Hartenstein finishes on the inside. Westbrook is fouled.
Oh, a late push there by Hartenstein after Westbrook was fouled. And Scott Foster was all over it as he was on the baseline there.
So Westbrook walks away. The foul was called, and then there was a little shove at the end that sent Westbrook tumbling into the front row.
I mean, Oakley used to do that to me all the time back in the 90s.
You still have some issues with it?
No, Oak and I are great.
Oh, you're good.
Don't try to start stuff between us.
That's not somebody you want to mess with. Reported tonight on TNT, Grant Hill wants a piece of Charles Oakley.
No, Oak, don't let Iron Eagle come between us.
Hartenstein will pick up a technical. The Thunder have 5 players in double figures in the first half as Jokic misses at the free throw line. You know, it's one of those things where you have to reset your brain when you look at the scoreboard. You say, wait, they've got 82 points? Yes. This has just been one long run, an 82-47 run.
And it's like, it's ongoing. Like, it wasn't like they had a stretch of 4 or 5 minutes. Like, the entire first half, they have been efficient. They've been aggressive. They've competed on both ends of the floor. And certainly that speaks to this Oklahoma City Thunder standard that Mark Daigneault, Sam Presti have established.
And the areas that they knew they needed to improve, rebounding, they've done it. Limiting Denver's transition points, they've done it. And the execution level has been through the roof for the Thunder. We're down to 1:35 to play in the second quarter. Gilgeous-Alexander, short. Flying in, Holmgren, he couldn't grab it, but there's going to be contact from Porter.
And teams teach that, where when you shoot the ball and you're in the corner, get to the elbows if you're crashing the offensive glass, and Holmgren did exactly that. And just right now, it's just the activity, it's the energy. Multiple efforts. It's almost like if this was a boxing match, the official would stop the bout. You know, I mean, they would stop it. And I mean, it's just the onslaught has been absolutely incredible to watch.
I think everybody anticipated that you would see this kind of fight and reaction from OKC. The question was, would it be this demonstrative and sudden? And the answer has been a resounding yes in the first half.
Well, people forget, I mean, during the regular season, the season series, they split their 4 games. Both teams won on their opponent's home floor. And so, yes, we knew they'd respond. They knew they'd come out with force, but it's almost like they're sending a message right now with their performance here in this first half.
Watch hit shows like Up and Adams with Kay Adams and Run It Back featuring Lou Williams, Chandler Parsons, and Michelle Beadle. FanDuel TV, free on all of your favorite devices. They are now closing in on an NBA playoff record, not just a Thunder playoff record, NBA playoff record. Most points in any half, 86. Cleveland, Game 4 of the Finals, 2017.
Wow.
There's 1:27 to go in this first half. Gilgeous-Alexander, 18 points, 7 assists. Get into a set, motion. Gilgeous-Alexander working, spinning, kicks it for Williams. Hard drive, give it up. Wiggins fades away and missed it. 1 minute to go, second quarter. Porter steps into the 3. It's off. Rebound nearly went down for Jokic, but it's claimed by Williams. Ahead to Williams. 45 seconds to go. Known as J-Dub. Williams, the drive, he's fouled. 37.2 on the clock.
And you saw right away, they recognized Williams matched up with Jokic, and there was no indecision right there. There was no dancing around, let me play with it. Williams put his head down, went at Jokic, and was able to draw a foul. I don't think Jokic fouled him. I think it was on Watson. But
they gave it to Jokic.
Oh, they gave it to Jokic.
And it sends Jalen Williams to the free throw line, 79% shooter.
Yeah, right there, he didn't waste any time. Crossover, and you're right, the forearm right there by Jokic is really all he could do to slow him down.
That was the first miss of the night at the free throw line for OKC. Wallace back in for the Thunder. Dort is in. Murray returns for Denver. Got a 13-second difference, shot clock to game clock. Williams splits a pair. 85-51. Get it in for Westbrook. Leave it for Jokic. Fires. Hits a 3. 15 for Nikola Jokic. Holmgren. Ball fake. Pull-up jump. Rimming out. And Jokic with the board. That would have been the NBA playoff record for points and a half. Westbrook puts it up. No. Rebounded by Williams. Foul is called. And 2 Nuggets are down on the play. Watson and Westbrook.
It's interesting. It looked like Jalen Williams, who I think they're going to call the foul on, but it's like he went up with 2 hands to get the rebound. Take a better look at it here. And maybe some of the lower body there, as they called him, maybe going over the back, but didn't really look like, obviously 2 guys fell, but it didn't look like a lot of contact from Williams on that rebound attempt.
And then Westbrook caught his teammate Watson up high.
I mean, for Denver, 55 points. You'd want that first half performance, not bad, but just giving up 85. Thunder team has made 10 3-pointers, 58% from the field. It's not going to cut it defensively at all.
Russell Westbrook, 14 points, 5 of 5 at the free throw line. "14 seconds on the clock. Gilgeous-Alexander with 7. Switch, defended by Murray. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Holmgren fires it up. Contact out front. The question, did time run out, or was the foul before the buzzer? Felt like it was before, and Ed Malloy and Scott Foster will go to the monitor.
Definitely contact on the arm, and you see the ball out of his hands. 0.5 seconds are on the shot clock there. So now, assuming that Chet Holmgren has an opportunity to shoot these free throws, they have a chance to break that record.
They do. It was Holmgren who was at the free throw line at the end of the 4th quarter in game 1. Missed on a pair. Gordon hit the 3-pointer to give Denver
After review,
the victory.
Foul occurred at 0.5. Chet Holmgren will shoot 2.
And by the way, welcome back Scott Foster. He had been out since March the 17th with a calf injury, one of the best in the NBA. So Foster is back for postseason action.
Holmgren 3 for 3 from the line here tonight, and you worry with the young guy missing those free throws like he did in game 1. How does he respond? And he has been his normal self, aggressive, knocked down 4 straight free throws. So the sign of a good player, go through some adversity, you bounce back, and he's done that.
And this one for the NBA postseason record. And there's a substitution issue here with Ed Malloy making sure that Watson went back to the bench. Chet Holmgren at the free throw line. "87 points in a half. A new playoff record. OKC has set it. What an answer by the Thunder. The most points in any half in postseason history. They've got the big lead over Denver in game 2, trailing in the series 1-0. We'll send it to Atlanta. Coming up, second round coverage on TNT is presented by Wingstop. "87 points in the first half, tying an NBA playoff record. Incredible what the Thunder did offensively in the first half of game 2. Time for Play Your Own Way, presented by PayPal.
And Ian, you talk about the offense, but it was the defense too. Swarming, getting deflections, making life miserable on the offensive end for Denver. OKC just in the passing lanes. They had forced 8 turnovers, got 15 points in transition off of those turnovers. Everything going OKC's way on defense and on offense.
I think whenever you get a shocking result like we saw in game 1, Ian Eagle, Grant Hill, Stephanie Reddy, the opinions start to fly around, and there are a bunch of questions about the Thunder, what they did during the regular season, the number 1. It was one game, and I think that's the way that OKC approached it. And clearly, we're seeing what they're made of so far in game 2.
Yeah, you said it best. I mean, the emotional maturity in the playoffs to bounce back, to go through some adversity, to have people start second guessing and questioning in the game situations and all of that. And this team, I'm not sure you could have had a better half on both ends from the Thunder.
Brett, they had 2 turnovers. 2. Lowest turnovers in the NBA this season, OKC, as Denver turns it over to start this third quarter. Lou Dort, open look. Slipped down at the end. Lost his footing. The ball is out of bounds. And OKC will retain it.
It looked like after Dort shot that, Jokic tagged him a little bit on the arm, and he tried to sell it. But what was impressive, obviously, SGA had 18 points. He had 6 guys in double figures for OKC in that first half. It's incredible.
Dort missed it, and Porter is there for the board. Start of this third quarter, they go into Gordon. Drop step, layup, no. Rebound, Gordon, and he's tripped. Goes down hard in the process.
And I like that set right there. Gordon, who did so much damage in the post against the Clippers. Obviously, Jokic out on the perimeter, but try to get him established, whether they get back into the game or not. Just something to build upon for the rest of this series. And I think Gordon posting up at times on smaller players can work to their advantage.
And a foul on to Jokic. Trying to create space out front. So another Denver turnover.
And it looked like right here as Jokic, the ball was deflected into Murray's hands, and Jokic nudged Dort. Been that kind of night here for Denver.
Denver outscored OKC 71-59 in the second half of game 1. Spin move, Holmgren. Hartenstein float. Hartenstein good.
He has mastered that push shot right there. The efficiency on that push shot in the paint has got to be off the charts. It looks like Brown is going to be called for a moving screen. So now you're starting to see the frustration.
Yes.
You know, you start to see you saw Jokic with an offensive foul there, screen, and then Brown a moving screen in transition. So it's just been that kind of evening here for the Nuggets.
And that is 11 turnovers overall for Denver. They turned it over 18 times in game 1, overcame that with late game execution. Williams, off balance delivery, goes down.
And Williams is so good, had such an incredible season. And obviously, 3-level score, his usage rates goes up when Gilgeous-Alexander is on the bench. But right here, getting to that left hand, nice pull-up. And they're going to need Williams to continue to play well, not just in this series, but if they have expectations to go even further.
Catch by Jokic. And Hartenstein took a shot to the mouth. This has been a foul fest in the first minute and change of the third quarter.
Yeah, Jokic just parks himself right there under the basket. And Hartenstein, it's tough when you're called for a foul. You get popped in the mouth.
And they are going to go to the monitor. So they saw the reaction of Hartenstein, and that was enough for Scott Foster and James Williams to head to the scorer's table.
It looked like he had position there, and I don't know. Not from that angle. It's hard to tell if there was a wind-up with Jokic's left arm. I'm not sure there was really anything there. I don't know if they give Jokic a flagrant here.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw game 1 when he connected with Dort.
Yes.
That was on a follow-through. That was very evident and blatant. This one seems like an open and shut case.
Game being played, there'll be no further penalties. Side out.
Scott Foster, who's been off for a few months, but still very smooth in the on-camera delivery.
I wonder if he was practicing at home in the mirror.
He was doing Zooms just to stay loose.
But we got it right, and you know,
that's all that matters.
That's all that matters. You know, I mean, I could have been Haywood Workman.
You could have.
A former NBA player who became an NBA official.
Leon Wood.
Leon Wood, another.
These guys crush Bill Kennedy tape. And another foul. It's Dort.
I'm sure Jamal Murray and Lou Dort had some battles playing for Team Canada and coming up in the Canadian system over the years, but really Murray has been a struggle, everything for Denver here on the offensive end.
Right now, let's take a look at our FanDuel Live point spread for tonight's game. Start of the game, OKC -10. Currently, it's a little larger, -34.5. Murray hits on a pair. Both of these teams lost in the second round last year. OKC to Dallas in 6 games, Denver to Minnesota in 7 games. Low dribble, contact between Murray and SGA, 5 to shoot. Bounce it for Williams, and the jumper is short. Rebound, Holmgren, he draws the foul. And the team fouls. Second one on Denver, 4 on the Thunder.
Yeah, Gilgeous-Alexander lost control, regathered the ball there in a little collision.
Yeah, they hit Canadian noggins.
Yes.
And Murray seemed to take the brunt of it as Holmgren will shoot 2. The chase for the cup continues Friday. The Maple Leafs take on the Panthers, followed by the Stars and the Jets. Coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern on TNT and Max, home of the Stanley Cup Final.
And that was good timing there, the Stanley Cup.
I mentioned Canadian.
Knocking heads.
Knocking heads.
Yes.
Canadians.
Yeah.
Our producer, Sean Gerchikoff, all over it.
I thought it was the Magic.
It's part of the magic. What OKC did in the first round against Memphis, they won the series by outscoring them by 78 points. So we talked about it, the close game that they were in game 1, they fell short. This has felt more like what we saw against the Grizzlies as SGA scores in the paint. 20 points for Gilgeous-Alexander. Double up on Jokic. Porter will skip it over to Brown. 10 to shoot. Brown, hard drive, anticipating the contact, but didn't get the foul call. Hartenstein was there to wall him up. Knocked away by Jokic, quick hands, as he jars it loose from Holmgren. Porter, in and out. Porter is now 0 of 5 from the field. 8:42 to go in the third quarter. On the switch, Gilgeous-Alexander crosses over and gets it to go. SGA is smooth with it.
Oh, great footwork and great extension on that finish.
8 of 10 for 22 points. Porter can't hit the 3. And a foul going the other way. It will be Jokic.
Right here, SGA just takes his time. Great crossover, gets in the paint. Comes to a 2-footed stop. Able to pivot, get to the rim. And right now, Porter Jr. struggling. That injury really bothering him on his jump shot.
Jokic give it up. Brown converts on a 3. There was contact at the end of the play between Hartenstein and Jokic. A timeout is taken by Mark Daigneault. 97-61 Thunder, the 2025 NBA playoffs, presented by Google. Second round coverage on TNT is presented by Wingstop. Paycom Center, the home of the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've got the 97-61 lead over Denver. The 1-4 matchup in the Western Conference. This is game 2. Nuggets shocked the Thunder 121-119 in game 1 on Monday night. And then these two teams will do it again on Friday night with the series shifting to Denver. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has scored 22. He's dished out 7 assists. Hartenstein, backdoor, layup goes. It's Dort.
You see Hartenstein's value. He gets the ball there off of the pick and roll action, and his passing just finding the open man. What a pickup and a find in the offseason for OKC.
Denver finished the season #1 in assists with 31. They have just 11 tonight. Jokic bounce it for Brown, extra feed. Gordon, the flip doesn't go. Knocked outside for Murray. He will take it and make it from long range.
And obviously a big-time lead right now, but that's how Denver got back in the game. Offensive rebounds, second chance opportunities in game 1.
That play broken up by Murray, who got in between Hartenstein and the rim. Denver finished the season #1 points in the paint as well, with 58.5 per game. They had 54 in game 1. They have just 12 tonight, but now starting to make some shots as Porter finally gets one to go. He's 1 of 7 from the field. Stop and go. Hartenstein missed it. It's almost surprising when they don't go in.
You're right.
Get into it quickly here with Brown. Jokic one-on-one coverage from Hartenstein. Turns the corner and finishes with a floater.
Jokic frustrated, thought he got fouled by Hartenstein, chirping with Scott Foster there, but the one opportunity for Jokic to get something easy at the rim.
It's a 10-2 run. Hartenstein couldn't finish because he was fouled by Gordon.
And what luxury does Mark Daigneault have? I mean, the two big guys that can pass. And right there, Jokic kind of went through the left arm of Hartenstein, thought there was contact and maybe should have been a foul. And then Aaron Gordon trying to save the alley-oop attempt, but to have two big guys like the Thunder who can make passes or unselfish is what a luxury for this Thunder team.
Isaiah Hartenstein at the free throw line. Don't miss a playoff moment with the NBA app. Get the latest scores, highlights, behind-the-scene access to all the drama. Download the NBA app today, powered by Microsoft. 2 out of 2 for Hartenstein. 4 assists. You mentioned his passing prowess. 14 points, 8 boards. He has been a perfect fit. Signed to a 3-year, $87 million deal. Came over from the Knicks. Murray misses on a 3-ball, and it's rebounded by Holmgren. That is his 10th board, so he's got a double-double. Williams over Jokic. No. Rebound, Gilgeous-Alexander. Holmgren. Yes, a 3.
Right there, Gilgeous-Alexander just went and took that offensive rebound from Brown. And once again, finding the open man helps when you have multiple guys who can knock down shots like OKC.
Porter drives it, tried to dish it, and Murray avoids a collision. Porter's 3. Jokic, offensive board, put back no, but a foul.
Right there, SGA just gets a little higher, goes up with 2 hands. And we talked about Holmgren locked in, knocking down that shot, and Jokic feasting on the interior. Second chance opportunities for Denver.
They are going to challenge it. Jalen Williams motioned to the bench that he got it clean. The assistant coaches clearly agreed with him. Coach's challenge here in OKC. The foul was called on Lou Dort. Mark Daigneault challenged the call. He has won the challenge. So no foul on Dort. No call is what the officials determined. They're going to have a jump ball at midcourt. Stephanie has more on the challenging mechanism by the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, you guys, Mark Daigneault says that I'm aggressive with challenges, and we've witnessed it here so far in this series. I'll tell you what his record is in the playoffs. He's 6-1 with challenges. He is very confident when he has the opportunity, but he also said it's not just about getting the call right, it's about maximizing it. It could be a foul situation, a free throw situation, possession. They want to get the most they can out of all the challenges.
Yeah, what we've seen around the NBA is head coaches put a lot of trust in the coaches that sit in the second row that are monitoring the game. They've got video immediately to look at, and head coaches have to trust that what their assistants are seeing is what they believe could be the evidence to overturn a call.
Hey, 6-1 in the playoffs. He might need to raise the guy behind the bench.
That's, I'm sure, something that he would really appreciate from you and from the Thunder.
I'm advocating on his behalf.
Yeah, clearly. 10% feed. Jokic. Rebound, Hartenstein battling with Westbrook. And it's going to be Denver basketball. Last touch, Hartenstein.
Right here, not giving up on the play, either one of them, Westbrook and Hartenstein. You see the right hand of Hartenstein getting in there, deflecting it out of bounds.
Lob it inside, Murray, extra Porter. Euros, and the flip doesn't go. Porter now 1 of 9 from the field. Gilgeous-Alexander fades and hits. He's a machine. Turnaround is way off by Gordon. Offensive rebound, Porter. Westbrook thought about the three. Instead, it's going to be Porter. On the deep shot, Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, getting one to go there for Porter Jr. He was off balance, too, on that jump shot. But it has been a struggle. 2 for 10 tonight. Was just 1 of 8 in game 1, but he is important to their attack.
Swing, Dort. Under 4 minutes to go now in the third. Hartenstein faked the handoff. Shot clock down to 5. The cut and slam by Williams. And another dime from Hartenstein.
Man, what a cut there, and great patience from Hartenstein. Had 2 guys cut before, but found an open Williams. Just beautiful basketball.
Jokic in and out. Holmgren's got his 11th board of the night. Williams leaves it for Gilgeous-Alexander. He's born to score. Ten of 12 from the field. Gordon flips it up. And a whistle stops play at the 3:10 mark of this third quarter.
And there's been no let-up, Ian. I mean, you have that first half record of scoring as Gordon is determined to get to the free throw line, going through contact to draw that foul. But OKC, the effort has not changed at all. And at some point, you don't chip away and get back in. You know, what does David Adelman do? Maybe start the fourth quarter, call it a night, rest your starters.
Fourth foul on Hartenstein. Upcoming NBA playoff schedule, TNT tomorrow night. Golden State at Minnesota, game 2. ESPN Friday night, the Cavaliers and Pacers and the Thunder and Nuggets. Go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. Yeah, it's an excellent question. If you're Adelman, you know, of course, you still want to see fight from your team. You don't want to take away all the positive energy that you felt from game 1, but at some point you accept the result of game 2 as Westbrook runs into Holmgren. It's an offensive foul.
Westbrook trying to set a screen on Holmgren, extended his arm. There was a lot of contact there. Westbrook maybe dropping that right shoulder is what led to it. He's still chirping. He's got a technical, so he's got to be careful. And to your point, Ian, look, I mean, they were in a hard series against LA. Game 7 is Gilgeous-Alexander, straight line drive, and draws the foul. And they've played every other day, and they've traveled in between all these games over the last week. So with game 3 on Friday, you know, at some point, like you said, David Adelman may say, let me get these guys some rest. I play my starters heavy minutes. They've come to OKC and did what they needed to do, at least get one win. But still, there's time left. But at some point, you got to start making those decisions if you're David Adelman.
Largest lead has been 39 tonight. And this thing was lopsided in a hurry. Westbrook to the rim.
And that was a blur right there. Just turned on the Jets. I'm amazed at 17 years in the NBA, all the mileage. And Westbrook still has the energy and the athleticism after all those great seasons.
Williams to Williams. J-Dub inside. Hammer jam. SGA. Just about 2 minutes to go in this third quarter. Murray short. Westbrook goes upstairs to get it, and Williams takes a shot to the face.
And right there, Westbrook on the offensive glass went up, and I think he might have caught Williams as he was securing the basketball. Or didn't quite see it from that angle. Oh, his right arm extended out. And now, like Scott Foster is at least walking over to David Adelman to explain. Oh.
Well, they're going to check to see if there's anything above and beyond. He did get him up high. It does require a plug to the right nostril of Jalen Williams.
And Westbrook goes up for the basketball. The question is that right arm, is that a natural motion as he's going for the offensive rebound there?
The foul was called on Williams. Loose ball foul, and he caught him with the right elbow on the extension.
You know, I know there was contact by the right arm, but he was going up with his left arm. And, you know, it's going to be interesting, you know, testing my Haywood Workman theory here now. But I think they may let it go.
It's a quick decision.
After review, it's been determined there's not sporting-like act during the dead ball. Contact was unfortunate that both players collided in the air, and they both went to the floor. We'll move on from there.
So there you go. Scott Foster called it unfortunate. I mean, definitely unfortunate for Jalen Williams. They're trying to control the blood. But, you know, we're going to follow what Scott Foster said. We'll move on from here. And that's real blood. That's streaming.
Yeah, it's streaming. And he's laughing. Like, I mean, yeah, that's a sense of humor, I guess.
I think he's laughing about it, but also laughing like, seriously? Nothing above and beyond? I don't know if that plug is going to hold up. Westbrook at the free throw line. And now Julian Strawther will see his first action of game 2, played sparingly in game 1. Russell Westbrook, 19 points in 20 minutes of action. He is the leading scorer for the Nuggets. High man for OKC is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 30. Bounce it for Williams. Rims out on a bloody 3. Out of bounds.
Right there, Denver showed a little bit of zone right there, trying to just give some different looks. Maybe more so out of desperation. Williams more than capable of knocking down that 3. I don't know if that plug is gonna last.
The back of the plug is being tested.
Yeah.
Lou Dort misses on a 3-ball. Contact there from Jokic.
Oh.
And Jokic and Williams both go down like bowling pins.
Yeah, Jokic on that play. Williams was fronting Jokic, and Jokic tried the swim move to go around him with the arm and just jumped on top of him there.
And he gets the offensive foul.
Yeah. Oh, and he elbowed Dort there. I don't know if that was incidental or not.
And they're going to challenge this call. Coach's challenge, Denver. So this is what happens between Jokic and Williams. He's trying to get lined up on the inside, and Jokic called for the foul over the top of Williams.
Yeah, I don't know how you call the foul there on Williams. It looked like Jokic looked like Greg the Hammer Valentine there.
You're showing off your era of wrestling fandom.
Well, I'm a wrestling historian.
Could have gone Bruno Sammartino, and then we're going into a whole different ball of wax. A lot of smiles from Jalen Williams. He's got a plug in his nose. He just got taken down by Jokic.
And Jokic tried to get around, and Williams kept moving and kind of jumped on his back. I'm glad that Williams didn't get hurt right there. It could have been much, much worse.
Williams has been very physical with Jokic.
And he's given them nice minutes off the bench.
He has.
He really has. He's played them tough, brought the physicality.
Only 7 minutes, but his impact has been felt in those 7 minutes. And this has been a longer discussion by Scott Foster and Ed Malloy. So it was an offensive foul on Jokic. Coaches challenge David Adelman. 1:44 to go. Third
The challenge has
quarter.
been deemed unsuccessful. It's been deemed that Jokic made a non-basketball move, jumping on the defender's back. The defender was moving, but what he did was unnormal. So it's an offensive foul.
It was more Jimmy Superfly Snooker-like, you know?
I thought Magnificent Morocco, but I'll go with you.
No, that was definitely a foul. Scott Foster got it right.
And that's 5 on Jokic.
5, wow.
So as mentioned, at some point, David Adelman will have to make a decision when we hit the fourth quarter what he wants to do the rest of the way. We asked Adelman about coaching Jokic. He said he is among the best players in NBA history. So you use him in so many different ways. He also made the point that his workouts are so efficient that you see that efficiency play out in the way he plays the game. Jumper is smooth from Isaiah Joe with the tray ball.
Speaking of efficient, that's how you attack the zone. Once again, paint touches leading to open three-pointers.
And the lead is 41. Foul out front. So the officials will continue to call it. Denver, they are incredulous at the calls that have been made as Jokic is done. That makes the decision a whole lot more direct.
Exactly, and that was a foul. Moved his arm a little bit. A sliding, moving screen. But like I said, Jokic did what he needed to do, leading his team to a victory in Game 1 with that spectacular performance. Well, it was interesting, the spectacular numbers. It didn't feel, as we said earlier, like it was one of these iconic, legendary games. You just kind of looked up at the end, and he's got 42 points and 22 rebounds.
Which I think speaks to his greatness in many ways, that it feels very much within what he normally would do. It doesn't feel abnormal in any way. And you're right, you looked up and he had 42 points, he had 22 rebounds, he had 6 assists. He was one of 4 players to do that in a postseason game. Wilt Chamberlain, Shaquille O'Neal, and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I know Shaq is very happy that you're shouting him out right now in the studio, but certainly he's in elite company with those 3. And what he's done, how he's developed, how he's revolutionized the big man position, it's been an absolute joy to watch him and witness this greatness.
Shaq may be watching Impractical Jokers right now. Under a minute to go in the third. Dump it off for Naji, who's in, but the ball is not in the hoop. Spin move. And then a reload here for OKC. A.J. Mitchell in the game. And A.J. Mitchell in the box score.
Look, everybody they put in contributes right away. 1 minute into the game, knocks down a three, but once again, you double team SGA. OKC didn't take advantage of that in the fourth quarter, game one, knocking down threes and making teams pay. And they've done it tonight.
Westbrook stripped of the ball. Mitchell into the hands of Gilgeous-Alexander. 5 seconds to go in the third. Can he cap it off? He can at the free throw line. Foul called. 3/10 of a second left.
Have to assume as the fourth quarter begins, SGA will sit that out, which has happened a lot this season, him sitting in the fourth.
Westbrook called for his 5th foul. That was the reaction from the crowd. Every path has a price, starring Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey. Don't miss the new season of the Emmy-winning HBO original series, The Last of Us, streaming Sundays at 9 exclusively on Max. Jalen Pickett, three-quarter court, and we go to the fourth quarter. Oklahoma City is steamrolling the Denver Nuggets here in game 2. They got off to the dynamite start, and they have not let the foot off the pedal. Second round coverage on TNT is presented by Wingstop.
Oklahoma City, the Thunder are up big, 124-76 over the Nuggets. You might wonder, why is this team so special? I spoke to Alex Caruso about this, and he is an expert because remember, he's one of the new additions. He looked at them from the outside, and now he's fully ingrained in this team. He said they're like any other great sports team because they're a collective towards one goal. They have a togetherness about what they want to do and where they want to be and what it takes to get there. He feels that they're very, very clear in their direction and understanding of what that is and what it takes from the top to the bottom. And of course, that thing, guys, is winning. That's all they care about. They are a very selfless team. They're a very giving team. They actually care for each other on and off the court, and it all shows in how they get the separation in games like tonight.
And Stephanie, a steal to start the fourth. It's Watson taking it to the rim for the throwdown. Yeah, I think the other part with Mark Daigneault, when we spoke with him prior to the game, he made the point, the last thing you want to do is overreact with your club. You've done so many great things throughout the year to finish the season with a 68-14 record. You breeze through the first round. You don't overreact and start changing things left and right because you lost just before the buzzer in game 1.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up, and that was a great point on his part. Look, he said there are things that they can improve upon, things they can do better, but not change who you are after one game. And I think what they've done is they've been able to get back to who they are here in this game. They needed this. They needed to have a bounce-back performance to show that their style, their philosophy is you know, what they've had success in the regular season translates here in the postseason.
Well, we've got substitutes in on both sides. Mark Daigneault has Kenrich Williams now in the game for the first time. Denver has Hunter Tyson in, along with Jalen Pickett, Najee Strother, who puts it off the window, +1.
Nice move there off the bounce by Strother, getting to the rim and drawing the foul. Tough shot, three-point play opportunity. But to your point too about Mark Daigneault, I like too how he took responsibility, came out to the media, said, look, it's on me. I made the mistake. He took the onus off his players, took the pressure off of them, and really just a sign of leadership in how you manage the ups and downs of the postseason. And certainly his guys have responded as a result.
And I think he still very much believes in the up 3 foul philosophy. It's just when you foul,
right,
and not giving them so quickly in the possession, and certainly not in the backcourt. When Aaron Gordon got fouled, there could have been another 3 or 4 seconds off the clock, and you had the additional layer that Nikola Jokic was on the sideline. He couldn't check in because both teams were out of timeouts, and they were waiting for a foul so Jokic could come into the game. Everything had to break the way that it broke for the Denver Nuggets to win that game, and it did. 7 things had to happen And they all did.
It was like a perfect storm right there. And you're right. It was a great game, great comeback, gutty performance. Certainly, question now is, can Denver regroup? Can they go back home? And can they find that magic they had in the fourth quarter at home, where it'll be much easier?
Kick it out for the Najee jumper, and he cans it from long range. We saw Denver do this to the Los Angeles Clippers in Game 7 of the first-round series, and tonight they're on the receiving end of a rout in favor of the Thunder. Here's Joe one-on-one with Tyson, and Joe nails the J.
And you talk about that Game 7 after 6 tough games in that Clipper series, and at home, it wasn't the stars that really created the separation in that game, in that blowout. It was Christian Brown, it was Aaron Gordon, it was Russell Westbrook. So much easier for the complementary players when they're playing at home in the playoffs as opposed to on the road.
Kenrich Williams will bounce it for Jalen Williams. Now Mitchell gets a touch. Fend off on Najee, step through, Mitchell denied. Zeke Najee with the block. Hunter Tyson in his second year out of Clemson. Pickett's pull-up. Doesn't go. Second-year guard from Penn State. Wiggins to Kenrich Williams. He's fouled by Najee.
I don't know if Wiggins was passing to Williams, Kenrich Williams, or Jalen Williams. Looked like Jalen Williams was who he was looking for, or maybe not, I don't know, but great cut right there to the basket. And like we said, no let up at all.
May 25th, the magic is back. The adventure is just beginning. In the Librarians, the next chapter. Don't miss the 2-night premiere event starting May 25th on TNT.
And obviously right now, if you're Denver Eye, and you know the guys that are in the game, they haven't really had consistent minutes. Maybe Watson has been productive somewhat off the bench, but you want to compete, you're always being evaluated. Maybe you stumble upon something. Maybe David Adelman will see something that works that he can incorporate in Game 3 or 4 as they return back to Denver. And certainly Strawther, I like his aggressiveness right there. Had a three-point play opportunity drive, and off the dribble handoff, a nice little push shot in the lane.
I think everybody saw around the NBA the video of Nikola Jokic during a timeout in Game 1, very demonstratively talking to his teammates. Joe with a pass inside for Williams, working around the perimeter. Mitchell, and that's a treble. So the point being, if you're a coach, you might take umbrage with it that the narrative is out there that Nikola Jokic is also helping out in that department. And Adelman told us prior to the game, and he said it publicly, like, I love it. I love the fact that his leadership is showing, that the accountability is there, and that the respect level that the team has. Tyson misses from long range. Najee the offensive rebound. Slapped away. Turnover. Joe give it up. Mitchell can't to triple. And that just shows you where this Denver team is right now and why Adelman has been such a good fit at the head coaching position, replacing Michael Malone, who was an NBA champion.
And he's been a great fit. So impressed with, we meet with him in the meetings and his perspective, how he approaches these matchups, and might have that interim tag removed when it's all said and done with the way he's resonated with this team. Just not having the performance here tonight in Game 2.
His father, Rick, was a tremendous head coach in the NBA with Portland, Golden State, Sacramento, Houston, and Minnesota. Consistent winner. And David obviously takes a great deal from what he learned being around his dad. And when we asked him about it, his dad said, oh, he's in Oregon, he's watching all the games. And when it all went down, when he got the job, he called his dad to let him know. And his dad very calmly said, well, that sounds like a really good opportunity. That was and it's exactly what David needed to hear in the moment. Instead of freaking out, it was like, oh, yeah, that's what it is. So I'll go do it.
Well, that's funny, but that's also David is ready. He's been around it his whole life and certainly learned from one of the best to ever do it in his father.
Watson, drive and deuce. Under 7 minutes to go. It's 133 to 90.
He also said he played basketball in high school with one of the members of the Brotherhood, Mike Dunleavy Jr., the GM for Golden State. And I asked him, did Mike ever pass him the ball? He said, no, but I passed him the ball.
And he got a lot of playing time because of it. They won a state title in the state of Oregon. Got a timeout here in the fourth. Told you about David Adelman's background. Mark Daigneault. This is going way back. Under 19 World Cup team. You got a young Aaron Gordon. You got a young Mark Daigneault. And you got a bunch of other familiar faces, certainly on the coaching side, with Shaka Smart and Billy Donovan and Tony Bennett.
That's a pretty exceptional coaching staff right there. Mark Daigneault was the video coordinator on that team.
And he said those relationships are still very much alive today. Learned a great deal. You know, obviously, as you come through the ranks, just being around highly accomplished people doing what you one day want to do. Osmosis. Pickett. It's an air ball and a shot clock violation. So new players have now checked into the game, including Ousmane Dieng for Oklahoma City, along with Dylan Jones.
You know, he talked about Shaka Smart and how close he and Shaka Smart are the coach at Marquette. And kind of has like a college feel, this Oklahoma City team. The way they play, the way they buy in. It's impressive. But that's what USA Basketball does. It brings people together.
Oh, wait.
Forms bonds.
Is this a PSA?
Yes.
We just laid it on a tray for you, didn't we?
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Foul called on the inside. Change for Denver as Vlatko Cancar is in for the Nuggets. 5:56 mark of the fourth. And Naji will go to the free throw line. Now in his 5th season in the NBA. They signed him to a substantial deal, 4 years, $32 million. Extra size on the bench. Limited action during the season. TNT is your new home for NASCAR. This summer, tune in to all the action beginning June 28th on TNT and stream on Max. He's the Pac-12 Freshman of the Year in 2020 at Arizona. One stat in favor of the Nuggets: they have won 7 straight playoff series after winning Game 1. And the scoring continues as Isaiah Joe makes it rain. Cancar and a handoff for Tyson. 5:25 mark of the fourth. Steal. Mitchell upstairs. The stuff. And the lead extended for OKC.
I mean, everybody just competing, playing hard, up big. I'd like to see this OKC team practice. I mean, just go at it as Strother knocks down a three-pointer. But it's just impressive to see what they've done. And you started to see it like 2 years ago when they didn't necessarily, they may be a 500 team, and as Joe just stays hot from 3. And David Adelman calls a timeout.
Doesn't like the defensive breakdowns, no matter who's on the floor. And a thriller here in Oklahoma City on Monday night. Then you watch the game last night in Cleveland, Indiana and the Cavaliers. And that one comes down to the wire and ends in incredible fashion. And you pop on the Knicks and Celtics earlier tonight. It's like, hold my beer. I got another one. That might be even better.
I mean, it's really been indicative of this playoffs. I mean, every game, every night, it's been exciting. It's just been a big plus for the NBA overall. And for us as broadcasters, it's been fun to call some of these incredible moments.
Inside, foul is called. Chanchar on the pass to Tyson. Yeah, you get swept up in the moment with the activity that you feel from home crowds, but then the flip side, the end of the game the other night between these two teams, stunned silence doesn't even do it justice what it felt like inside this arena. There was just a state of shock from Thunder fans how that went down. And it was Aaron Gordon playing the role of hero with a three-pointer to win it.
And we've seen it. I mean, we obviously in the first round, the visiting team going on the road and taking care of business. Certainly that's not the case here tonight, but we saw it in the first round too. I mean, we were fortunate to be on the Knicks-Pistons series and both teams winning on the road. Some great finishes. Best time of the year, NBA playoffs.
Down to 4:20 remaining. Jang drives, pulls up over Tyson short. Chanchar with the rebound. Get into it with Pickett. 59% shooting for the Oklahoma City Thunder, 37% for Denver. That's going to add to the percentage for OKC. The layup from the rookie out of Weber State, Dylan Jones. Fast break points 22-5. Knocked away from Pickett. Mitchell, all gas, no brakes for the Thunder.
Well, he's been impressive. I like his shooting, his ability to get downhill to the rim.
And a trip as Strawther goes down. That is the fourth team foul against the Thunder.
And just to show you something, right now OKC has more assists than Denver's field goals made. OKC with 31 assists for this game. And Denver just 30 made field goals for the game.
That doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen at all.
Knock away from Tyson, shot clock at 10. Tyson the drive and scoots inside with a left-handed layup.
Nice move there by Tyson against pressure too.
Second round pick in 2023. Mitchell, get it inside. Kenrich Williams couldn't finish it. Under 3 minutes to play. And this is one if you're the Denver Nuggets, you just want to turn the page, get home, and get your home crowd behind you and try to get back to what was so effective in the series opener. You certainly got done what you hoped to get done, get a split. It's just how the split came about is not always exactly how you drew it up.
Well, that's what happens on the road in the playoffs. You know, just find a way to get it done. It was impressive. They didn't quit. They just kept fighting. They pounded the offensive glass. They got to the free throw line. And now after this game, get home, get some rest, and feed off of that energy in Denver.
And another foul. This time Jang is going to go to the free throw line.
And look, they were on the road for game 6, came home for a short stint, game 7, and then quickly got on a plane to come here, and they've been in OKC. So sometimes it's getting home in your own bed, you know, and your own normal routine.
We mentioned Adelman's background as a high school player. He was a high school head coach before he ever got an opportunity in the NBA ranks. Head coach at Lincoln High School in Portland, 4 years as an assistant at Jesuit High School, where he had played with Dunleavy.
Well, you know he was smart by passing the ball to Dunleavy. Dunleavy was a McDonald's All-American, talented player in Oregon, and certainly in our coaches meeting we brought it up. He smiled. He was proud of their accomplishments together, and He's got to be proud of what this team has done. He has more playoff wins than regular season wins.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any NBA coach.
It's never happened.
It's never happened before.
It just doesn't usually happen like this, where an interim head coach actually goes to the playoffs. That's rare.
It's very rare.
And then goes to the playoffs and wins more games in the postseason than they did in the regular season, because he took over with just 3 games remaining. Let's see Fundor back there. He took his mask off, which is weird. I've been here many, many times. I've never seen the gentleman behind the basket and stanchion take his mask off. Normally he goes with a wrestling look.
Are you guys on a first name basis?
Fundor, yeah. I know him. His first name is actually Garrett. That's a fact. That's the next level of preparation required in this job.
You're like the Sergei Bubka of preparation. You just keep raising the bar.
There he is. Hey, Garrett. Fundor. That guy's got a regular job. Tyson finishes on the interior.
He's got to be self-employed.
I don't know. I haven't seen his paperwork. Final minute 42. Jang's 3 is off the mark. The largest lead of the night was 49 for the Thunder. That doesn't go down for Hunter Tyson. The fans that remained in the arena still here cheering on the Thunder. Quite a different scene compared to 2 nights ago when Denver came away with that epic Game 1 victory. Jones with a head of steam. And he's dropped by Naji. He was not going to let him get an open lane.
And you talked about the other night, like even as Denver was chipping away at that lead, you still felt like OKC was going to win, you know, and really not until that second missed free throw by Holmgren, and then the great outlet pass from Brown to Westbrook, and then of course that cross-court pass to Gordon. It was like it just all happened so quickly, and you're like, wow, they won this game. They stole the game, which was absolutely incredible to watch.
And down by 1, it's Gordon shooting a 3. The mentality was, wait, no, no, no. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. It went in. And then a last-second attempt by Jalen Williams was off the mark, and Denver claimed a 121-119 win in Game 1. But tonight, not wire to wire, because Denver actually led 2-0. But that was their only lead. All 13 players for the Thunder have scored, and put 3 on the board for Jalen Pickett as he drains the triple. Final 30 seconds. Kenrich Williams missed it from distance. Tyson will get it across. There's a 4-second difference. Shot clock to game clock. So the Nuggets are going to look to shoot it here with Strawther. Head and shoulder fake. Creative attempt. And now OKC can just dribble out the clock. This was an old-fashioned playoff blowout. Oklahoma City responds in a big way. Game 2 belongs to the Thunder. 149-106. The first team in the playoffs this year to win a home game in the second round.
Win they did. Impressive start to finish. The sense of urgency came out with a chip on their shoulder. I said earlier, played with anger, with a rage, a controlled rage, and sending a message that although they had the disappointment in Game 1, they are capable of bouncing back and showing who they are.
So this series is even at a game apiece, waiting on Game 2. TNT tomorrow night. Golden State leading Minnesota 1-0. Let's send it over to Stephanie.
Thank you so much, Ian. Okay, let's break this down. You guys had a lead as large as 49 points tonight. Coming off of game one and that disappointment, the heartbreak at the end, how do you all regroup and have a performance like tonight?
Yeah, we came out here desperate. We knew what it would look like going down 0-2 on the road. That wasn't really an option for us. We knew that waking up this morning. And we did the necessary things to get a W. Now it's about washing it, just like we did the last game, and getting ready for the next one. It's a really good basketball team over there, and every game's gonna look different. We gotta be ready.
I'm glad you brought that up because the next game will be in Denver. They obviously are going to try to regroup as you all did. How do you go into an opponent's arena and try to have a performance like you did tonight?
Yeah, worry about the little things that got us a W tonight. No matter what arena you're in, the game of basketball is the same. It takes the same intangibles to get a W, and that's what we focus on. We did so tonight. We didn't do our greatest job game one, and that's why we lost. We got to do the same thing game 3 and game 4 if we want to get a W on the road.
Nice job. Congratulations. Thanks for stopping.
Appreciate it. Let's get it.
Guys.
All right, Stephanie, thanks so much. Oklahoma City, not only do they take care of business, they do it in a major way at home. The bounce back by the Thunder. Dominant win in game 2. For Grant Hill, Stephanie Reddy, our entire outstanding NBA on TNT crew, Ian Eagle wishing you good night from OKC. You're watching TNT, the exclusive home of the 2025 Eastern Conference Finals. Now we send it to Atlanta. EJ, Kenny, Charles, and Shaq.
Что стебель гибкий, он пред тобой, что лютый зверь. Не соблазняй его улыбкой, молчи, когда стучится в дверь. А если он ворвется силой, за дверью стань истерики. Успеешь в горнице немилой, сухие стены подожги. Если близок час позорный, ты повернись лицом к углу, свяжи узлом платок свой черный.
Heaven knows, men know that I love you so much, Jamila. Ooh, yes I do. You left my world and left me so cold. Now I'm wondering how I'm gonna get you back. Hey, nasa napata mikirai, Jamila kiyape mung. Na dawo gida ban ga Jamila ba, na dawo gida ban ji muryanta ba. Hey, wayo, a neman mun Jamila. Jamila, don Allah ki dawo gida, babu abin da zai raba mu har abada. Jamila, zuciya na ɓaciwa, gida gida. it up, dog it up. Ooh, no matter what people do or say, this love will never die. If I knew I never hurt you so bad, drinking so much, too much worm.